What's up, reefers? Welcome to Alex for Corals. This is Alex Wilson, and this is my video log where you can learn from my reefing madness. So come check it out. Alright, so here's a shot of some of these products that I've recently gotten. And yep, so here is the Trisodium phosphate that I mentioned in the last video by Loud Wolf. And this certainly is the way to grab, it was saying about 4 grams per liter will give you kind of a starting area to be able to make up so you mix it with a liter of your purified water, mix it up, and that's going to make you a solution that you can then add in to dose it up, and it should increase it. I think it's about, yeah, so you mix like a milliliter per gallon, and it should give you 0.25 parts per million of phosphate, and you could test that in a solution. So that's the idea you got to experiment with to kind of get it to the right level. The same goes with the other one, the sodium nitrate, to be able to dose and add in your nitrates. So yep, there it is. Hopefully it'll work, guys. Well, I'll let you know as I'm using it to see. And also got right here bulk reef supply. I got this super glue, gotta love it, and also got the scraper from bulk reef supply right there as well. And here's the Reef Plus. This is the solution that I add to it. Has vitamins, trace elements, and amino acids, and I use the manual doser right here. Really easy. The Hannah checkers, what I use: alkalinity, nitrate, and phosphate ultra low reader right here. And if I get a low reading on it, or a lot of time, what can throw an error, you get confused very rarely, but when it does, I just test it again and it's good. And if I notice that it's much higher or much lower than I think it should be, then I will just double check it. And I'm doing it at least weekly. So if I think it's off, then I'll test it again right away, and then I'll test it again in a couple of days. So I'm always testing it in that sense, so I know what where it's at, or if it's going up or whether it's going down. If it's something way off, just don't go absolutely crazy, and start dosing or trying to bring it down right away. Just give it a couple of days and test it again. And it would be a good idea to have another Hannah checker to be able to check one checker with the other checker, and then to as well have one of the other brands, so you could double check one against the other. So at least you have an idea. You should know whether it's going up or going down where you're at there. So haven't had any problems there so far. Let's go check out the systems over here. The 20-gallon system, and yeah. So we got the dinos in here, and I have a light down at 50%, so hopefully that should take them and they won't get a huge bloom on it. And so on this one, because of that, it was trending down anyway as far as nitrate and phosphates. However, on this one, it's certainly when there are dinos in there or any other type of bloom, that the nitrate and phosphates just go way down. And so I had been dosing them back up, but I think should be just contributing to the algae bloom, to the dino bloom. So I went ahead and just didn't, and left them really low, at zeros right now. So it's at zero phosphates, and the nitrates are at a very low level. So I'm going to see what that does over the next week or two, and hopefully the dinos will disappear sooner rather than later. Let's check out the main display today. Here's a side shot. Looking pretty crazy, right, you little thing? What's up? And this one over here is, let's check it out. Do the coral scrubber right here, and to the right here, that's the last spot where there was some of the brown dinos from adding in the new crushed coral, and then finally it's starting to get converted here, especially on the left side is much more coralline algae. It's starting to get the coralline algae on it now. whereas the right side will in just a few weeks. So this one finally getting covered up with the coralline algae, and my theory on this is that it has nothing to do with the bacteria in like a cryptic. If you have a cryptic sump or like dark cycling your live rock, or essentially this crushed coral is a bunch of small live rock. And so, you know, I've done this before where I've had them in complete darkness for 6 months, you know, when establishing the system. Turned on the lights again, it was gonna be good, and when you get straight ugly phases, and you know, nastiness. So I think that it doesn't have anything to do with the actual bacteria on there that's stopping the algae. The algae is just going through its stages, and it doesn't start until you put light on it. So you put light on it, and the algae will start to colonize it, and it's going to take a long time. And the first ones to do so are the dinos, and it just goes through the cycle and cycles. And eventually, if you get through it months and months later, you know, you get the glass like green tinge to it, and that's where it does good. And from there, eventually it starts getting colonized with the coralline algae. And so what's interesting is that, in contrast, I'll put something in here just like straight plastic, like this power head right here, you know, and the coralline algae, it doesn't go through it does go through the same algae stages, ugly stages, but it's much quicker, and it only lasts like maybe like 2 months, and boom, it's got coralline algae. Whereas the crushed coral, it seems to take at least 6 months. So yeah, go figure. There it is. That's my 2 cents on that one, guys. All right, so here's the main display, and so now that this one up here, it had its red slime recently, and the brown dinos from underneath, and kind of went through another cycle from down up from what was coming from underneath and came up top. But now what's good, you know, I was brushing it out with a turkey baster and just my hand in there in between the rocks, stirring up the sand. But since now the red slime and the brown dinos are completely gone, and I didn't use any of the Clean or any of the red slime remover, nothing. I just completely let it take its course. And by the way, I mean, it has certainly, the red slime would like to prefer to grow in there where on top of the detritus is that in the rocks and straight on the glass, right? But now that it's disappeared, I mean, it's disappeared. I mean, there's still that, it's not the detritus by itself, because the detritus is still there, and yet the red slime is completely gone. So it's just gone through its natural cycle. Something might be eating it. So the microfauna probably is eating the dinos as well as the red slime and everything, and just keeping it completely at bay is, you know, is one of my theories. Anyway, here we go. We got the home record of the left, still alive, looking pretty good. However, the wildlings to the right, definitely has some tissue loss on them. All right, so that's it. Got this. That's the rainbow, Aquapora rainbow right there, looking pretty good. Yeah, I got the green millipore in the back, looking pretty good, as well as the green bally slimer back there. Well, not green slimer. And then to the left, got the radical red stag way back there. And this little guy right there is a green bally slimer. So I got my fingers crossed, Abe, that this dude right here is gonna come back, and might have to get some more green bally slimer, even though this one should be hopefully coming back soon. Yep. Alright guys, well I guess that's it. Just a quick update on this system right here, and hope you guys have some happy reefing out there. Alright, check you on the next one. Bye.